What's up, guys? I thought I'd do a quick, well, hopefully quick EDC video. I'm actually holding the camera above my bed to hopefully speed things up. I haven't done an EDC video in a while, and I figured, a few things my EDC have changed since the last one I did, but most of the things are still kind of the same. In my mind, that's the point of an everyday carry, is things should remain relatively consistent, and it should be stuff that you carry every day. It's actually Sunday, day before New Year's Eve, so I only went out to do some shopping today. I didn't really do much, but I still carried my regular EDC. So I'll just go from pocket to pocket. In my right pocket, I have same wallet, that big skinny leather hybrid wallet. It's it's starting to wear around the edges and everything. Let's see if I can get that to focus. But for the price that I paid, like I mentioned before in my old video, it's not bad. That has like cash, credit cards, whatnot. My nice festive red thing of blankets, whatever. I have a single finger knuckle. I don't carry that around my neck anymore. I'm pretty sure I used to show that. I used to carry that around my neck on a kydex sheath that I made around some paracord. Car keys. This is new, a Victorinox Cadet. In the past, in terms of carrying a Swiss Army knife, I used to carry around a SAC Farmer. I really like the Farmer because it was actually the only Swiss Army knife that I've ever had with the A-LOX handles, and I definitely prefer the A-LOX handles over the plastic ones, even though I lose out on the tweezers and the toothpick, but I never really used those much to begin with. The Cadet is nice because of how super thin it is, and it doesn't have extra tools. The Farmer, the main reason why I got the Swiss Army knife Farmer was because of the saw, and the saw, I mainly use that knife when I went camping or hiking and whatnot, but for everyday use it's not really practical, and the individual tools themselves on the Farmer were much thicker. The can opener, bottle opener, blade, they were all thicker stock. This is much thinner stock, and because it's the A-LOX handle, is actually very thin. I'm not overly concerned about weight in terms of what I carry every day, so I'm more concerned about bulk. I don't want my pockets to be bulging too much. And I also carry a Hi-Tech C Cavalier. And then new knife, which I got just yesterday, Bradley Alias 2. I will do a initial impressions video on this, and then maybe I'll go into a review. I've never, most people get this as a substitute for a Chris Reeve Sebenza. I've never owned a Sebenza. I have played with a Sebenza for a good amount of time because my friend Steven, he has one. I've helped him sharpen it in the past. He's had it for years actually, and I used to help him sharpen it because it was S30V and he couldn't really sharpen it himself. So I've got a lot of experience with the Sebenzas. The Bradley, as a quick thing, I will say it is definitely not a Sebenza replacement. Anyone who thinks that the Bradley is as good as the Sebenza is really tricking themselves. I don't know, maybe it's because the differences between the two knives, in terms of the Sebenza, the Sebenza kind of has the some certain characteristics that I want in a knife, whereas this one doesn't. Should be it for the right pocket. Yep. In the left side, I have a carabiner through one of my belt loops. I haven't carried a carabiner on my belt loop in quite some time, but I started carrying my keys back on it and kind of like shoving it into the back pocket instead of leaving it loose in my pants. I'm wearing my cargo pants today, so the back pocket actually has Velcro over it, so I can't really do the same. And then clip to the left pocket is the 4.7's Prion P2, the Gen 2 model. I will get a review out on this eventually. There are some quirks to the Prion that I'm not a huge fan of, but the fact that you get such good output and such good runtime out of such a small form factor is the main reason why I've been carrying it. I've actually haven't really carried any other lights. My main light I used to carry was my titanium cork, and I stopped carrying that after I got the Prion. Initially I got the Prion just for when I would go out to the city and whatnot, and I didn't want to really bulge out my pockets with stuff, but I just ended up becoming a regular EDC, especially since I got like a brand new really good smart charger for my Eneloops, so now it doesn't take forever to charge like with the dumb charger that the Eneloops came with, and I'm more inclined to carry that instead of just running off a light that runs 123As. Then I have my keys. I also have a mini aluminum carabiner on there. Sometimes I'll just clip this to a belt loop. I'll switch off between either this one or that big black climbing one. And on the keys itself, I have a Exotech free key on it. I'll probably do a review on it eventually. Poor lighting, messy bed. And then I have a small S-beaner, 0 size, and a titanium bottle opener. That's it for... Oh, and let me just put the camera down quickly. I gotta take my belt off. Okay, and that's the rest of my stuff on my EDC. In terms of watch, still using my my Seiko Black Monster. Love that watch. I put it on to a silicone strap. Don't know if the last video I showed that. Still carrying the Dozier Yukon Pro Skinner on my belt in my Kydex sheath. I also got this belt sometime in October. I believe I got it during the second week of October. It's a nice 1.5 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick leather belt that I got from EDC Gear, and it was, I think they called their Amerihide Any Everyday belt or whatever. I love this belt. It's a little funny because the main reason why I got this belt is I've never been a huge fan of leather belts. And in the past, I've always kind of used the nylon belts, like a riggers type belt, because I understood, since I carry things on my belt, especially knives, I understood that you really want like a good solid belt to really keep things tight up against your body, and so it doesn't sag when you're carrying it. Even more so if you're carrying a handgun, but even for some heavy knives, it's always nice. It helps with good draw off of belt sheets if you have a good belt. And since I've lost weight, I've wanted to actually start to wear my shirts tucked in again. In the past when I weighed more, I was a little self-conscious about how I looked with my shirt tucked in, so I never had my shirts tucked in, and it didn't matter what belt I was wearing. At the same time, now that I'm tucking in my shirts more, there's nothing wrong with having a riggers belt exposed, and it's kind of silly because I do wear like BDU cargo pants, but I wear khaki color pants, like right there, you see? I wear these pants, so it's not terrible. It's not like a super tactical digital camo or woodland camo or anything. So I can get away with wearing these pants, and from a distance you can't really tell that they're tactical pants. I mean, you can tell they're cargo pants, but they could just be regular khaki cargo pants. So I didn't really want to telegraph the fact that, I'm in a more tactical situation by wearing a nylon riggers belt with that huge steel buckle. So I went ahead, just got a nice leather belt. The price on this I think was around $60, like without shipping, and maybe like another $10 for shipping. Expensive for some people, but in terms of a good leather gun belt, it's actually one of the most inexpensive ones that are handmade. You can get factory made ones. Quality just isn't as good, but you get them for around maybe $40–50. Some of the really nice leather belt manufacturers, like Beltman and stuff, their belts go for $80. This one, EDC got to me. They finished building it within a week. I got it within a few days, so within like a week and a half or 2 weeks, I got my order for $60, which isn't terrible. And the only other thing is this leather pouch that I got made. I think, what's that guy's name? Well, Tom. The guy I had this custom made for me by a guy named Thomas Boyer. I think his site is TNXB Leatherworks. I don't even think he has a website. I think he's only on Facebook. He actually makes mostly leather props for cosplaying and whatnot. But for the price, I decided to go ahead and get a leather belt pouch from him. Anyone who's really into leather and all that stuff, generally leather belt pouches are really expensive. They can run something this size can run up to like $100. The reason why this isn't as expensive is the leather itself isn't as thick. You can see I don't really know how thick of leather it is, but I don't, this is an everyday carry belt. It's not meant to be a super rugged outdoors belt, so I don't need like 10-ounce leather or 12-ounce leather or whatever. So this is good enough, and I only paid, I think it was like $25. His prices will vary depending on how difficult of a belt you want him to make for you. And obviously as time goes on, the material cost goes on, so it might not be for that price. But I got 2 pouches, both this size, one with this horizontal overlap, the other one with a this overlap this way. I haven't used that one at all. $25 each. Can't beat the price. You know, they're riveted together on all three sides. One rivet here I think he also does Velcro on the flap if you don't want the button snap. I specifically requested the button snap. I don't really like Velcro because it wears out really easily. And, you know, shit gets stuck in there and it doesn't hold as well. And I also got, oh my god, I can't speak, it's kind of late. I also got button snaps for the belt loop, so I don't have to actually take off my belt in order to get the pouch off. And inside, basically, I carry some stuff that I used to carry in my pocket. Yeah, right there. So, I have eye drops. I have very dry eyes, so I always carry around eye drops now. A USB flash drive, chapstick, mints, the Bic lighter that I used to carry. Sometimes I'll switch that up with like my I Am Corona Old Boy or a Zippo, and also a small 2x3 Rhodia pad. Even though I have a smartphone, you know, I have a Galaxy S2 and I'm actually using it right now to record this video, I still prefer pen and paper most of the time. I do find that even though I have a smartphone, I get lazy about writing things into the smartphone because I have to kind of like type it out, and it's much easier and faster for me just to pull out a pad of paper and just quickly scribble on it, although the only bad thing is I do have to carry that. And yeah, that's basically my EDC, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.